What's up, cyberspace? It's Xero. Bringing you some EDC content today, featuring my spyderco Efficient. You know, one of the cool things I always thought about these knives was the idea that you could spidey flick them open by flicking this hole in here and deploying them one-handed. So I spent the better part of a day yesterday trying to figure this move out, and you know, in the immortal words of Inigo Montoya, I am not left-handed. So let's take a look at the spidey flick with my dominant hand and see if I can do it any better. Much better. So I got on the Best Damn EDC Discord, and props to them. They explained to me that what's actually happening is you're putting pressure here between the pivot and the edge of the spidey hole. And as it rotates out, it builds up that force enough until it can overcome the detent, or the lock on your knife, all the while maintaining enough momentum to actually deploy. So tip one, you don't want to flick it out like this. You want to flick it up. If the place that you want your knife to be at the end of the move is up, it makes sense that that's the direction you actually want to flick. So flicking up and not out is tip one. Tip two is that grip is key. For me, I grab my bottom two digits on the edge of the clip and then squeeze the G10 with my palm. And then my index finger and my thumb go right in front of the pivot. And then obviously the middle finger does the flick. So yeah, tip two, grip is key. You know, every knife is different size hands. You gotta play around with it and practice that flick to get it to that spot where it's the right one for you and your knife. So tip three is you don't want to stick your finger too far into the spidey hole. Unless you're going to do the spidey drop, you don't really need to do that. You kind of just graze the edge of the outside of the spidey hole. You know, beware, you're going to crack the tip of your fingernail and get some chapped hands if you do this 7,000 times in one day, like some people. But yeah, so the next tip is that, you know, you just flick on the outer edge of the spidey hole. Now, you can do the drop hand. I've done it. I've cheated a couple times and, you know, flicked my wrist out some, done a little like angle flicks like that to try and help me. But you don't really need that. It's all about just getting it in the right position and flicking it out. You really don't need gravity's help at all. It's all about technique more than anything. So, like I said before, this is the spyderco Efficient, which sadly, it's a made-in-China knife. I normally wouldn't support, you know, a made-in-China product, especially when the same company makes an American-made product, which is arguably better, even if it is a lot more expensive. But I got this on sale as a factory second for $16. So yeah, I think this was a pretty good pickup. It's an intro to spyderco for me as well, too. I mean, this is normally a $50 knife, which I don't know if I would have paid that for a Chinese knife, but, you know, I wouldn't have bought a paramilitary 3, you know, having no experience with a knife like this. But having played with this for one day, I definitely can see myself giving spyderco more of my money for an American product. G10's cool. I'd really like some of my Cartha scales myself. You know, this is my first EDC knife, so I'm probably going to mod it. So you'll probably see some more content on my channel where I probably talk about the way I'm going to mess this knife up. Oh, factory seconds. Yeah, so what's wrong with this knife? Hard to tell. Let's see if we can get this to focus. There's a tiny little chip here in the G10. If I get it just right, you almost can't see it. And then right here in between the liner and the scales, there's a tiny little bit of red cloth. I mean, it's just like a couple hairs. I tried to pick them out. It didn't come out. I'm going to try and loosen the back of the screws a little bit maybe and see if I can get it out. I'm going to try and pick it with tweezers, but I should be able to pull that off with no problem. So yeah, that's the spidey flick. Thought I'd, you know, make a video today, talk about my new knife. You know, if you like this video, you should definitely check out the Best Damn EDC. They're a great channel here on YouTube. They do some cool stuff. So check them out. If you like this video, like it, subscribe it, put a comment down below what you want me to talk about next. So yeah, have a good one. Later.